And here we go. God, it says it's live at 17 seconds. I've only just clicked it. Right, guys, you'll have to tell me that I am live and you can hear me. So this is a little bit of a test. Just let me know that you can hear me. And hopefully I'll try and get to more comments this time. Last time I was so far behind. Everyone was like, what planet is he on? So as you can see, it's 1 million live special. There you go. Jay's in the house. Been on a little trip. Can hear you. Yep. Sounds good. Right, we're all going. Be all right if he was actually pretending and let me do a live stream and no one can hear me. I'm actually a bit better as well, so that's good. And I was planning to do it in the week as well, but hey, you don't hear me go coughing at everything. So I'll give everyone a quick shout out, and hopefully I will get down to everyone. So James Kaplan just come in. Congratulations. Thanks, James. Adam Calmer, Deserder, Teddy Lucas. Thank you. Anna Bowling, Kathy Buchanan, Wino Dino, Beatrice Burke, Rhonda H, Andrea 73, Francesca Henderson's in the house. So is Steve the Burr Wheatley, who's looking for a gay lover. If anyone's interested, he's in the chat. Jay Braun, I've just said, Mr. Mensa. Who else have we? Biscuit, Misty Thompson, Mr. Mensa, myself. Who else? Come on, scroll up, Mr. Mensa. I've said JC Son, the Suse Weird Dancers in Vibration, Sam Cano. Who else? Let me scroll. This is what happens, Jolly Man. And then I forget to scroll back down. Mish Gleason, Rhonda H, I've said. Love is in the house, Clarissa Reed. I'll scroll back down. So what it is, guys, I'm just going to go live. Ask me any questions that you want. I'll try and answer them as truthfully as I can. Chicky Rogue. Thank you, Robertson 2030. And international Aldun influence, if that's right. Welcome. Moonbear, Chungus Khan, Richard Degener, DJ, Slick Dissident. Well, welcome. Hared Amon. Waking up with analogs in the house. See what I mean? I'm already about 3 minutes behind. So, as you can see, I've got a little bit still. As the headline and the live says, we have hit a staggering, I don't know how, 1 million views. It's actually gone past it now. But Christina, welcome. Indigo. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So it creeps up on you, don't you? You just buying your time and, or press that button. And a few weeks ago, I think it was a few weeks ago, I was talking to Steve saying, God, I'm only a few thousand away from 1 million views. And I know that might not seem big to some or anyone that's on TikTok and that, but for just over a year, Rick, I think that is really good. Going meme. It's Chris Skipjack is in the house. It is crazy to think about it, that 1 million, not necessarily 1 million people, it's 1 million views. I'm assuming, I don't know how it works, that if you view a video and you view one tomorrow, that's 2 views. You know what I mean? So a good lot of people have watched, and it's surreal, to be honest. It is. It doesn't feel real. I don't know, but you can say we live in a simulation or anything like that, but to hit that many views in just over a year, it wasn't a target I thought I would get to as quickly within a year. If people are not knowing, I had another channel. I was known as the Black Sheep Researcher, and I had that channel for about 2 years, 3 years, something like that. And YouTube, basically, I put it to a vote because I like to involve you guys in the chat, don't I? So I said to you, should I monetize? And people said, yeah, 90%. So we did. And as soon as I monetized, I was getting warning after warning after warning. And within the space of an hour, I had 2 warnings and another one, it had gone down. So it was only crazy that I thought, you know what? I'm having the power in my own me in my own hands. I'm not letting YouTube have the satisfaction of deleting the channel. So I started another one, and we already had a show on a Friday called, what the flock, Friday flockage. So I thought, you know what, bang, I'll be called What the Flock TV, and started in June last year. So you're talking just over a year, and we've had 1 million views, and I'm proud, I'm proud of the support that we got, and we have. You could do it without it. Many channels forget about the support and what people do, because you don't get credit. I would love YouTube to credit people who do stuff for channels without people knowing. Do you know what I mean? For some, it could be as simple as, if people are like recommending channels and putting your name out there, they get like an ad-free experience, so they don't have to pay for it. Something like that, just to say a big thank you for supporting channels, because the proof is in the pudding. A year-old channel started from nothing, and we've had 1 million views. It's just brilliant. It's humbling. It's surreal, because you guys give your precious time to me whenever I do a video. I know it's getting slower and slower, but I just put too much into the video. So I'm planning on to doing some short ones as well. Like, not like TikTok length, but just one point that I make in certain old videos to put out on the channel, because some of the stuff that I mentioned is being used by big channels, and they're not. You know what I mean? It's like, what's nice to just say I got it from there. Doesn't mean you're in. Many times I've mentioned and thanked people. We have to have each other's back. Well, we've got a bit more in. I'm going to say a few more, and I've got a few stuff, but it's mainly just if anyone's got a question, and I'll try and put her up. I'll answer that question first, and I'll put it on screen. Fahad Amount said, "What is your view after all that you have found?" My view changes sporadically, spontaneously, because I'm looking with a different perspective every time. Where I thought, hey, that is orange, or that is red, or that is blue, I'm looking at it with a different eyes. I'm looking at it with shades on. I'm putting a night light on. Everything changes. So my view is that I know nothing, and I know nothing each day, and that's what keeps me coming back, because I don't know anything. I don't pretend to know anything. I don't promote anything. I don't state a fact like other channels will do, because each day I'm learning again, and I'll change my opinion, and I hold the right to have a different opinion on a similar subject, because sometimes you just don't see it. So that's my question. What is my view on the thing I found? I know nothing, but some of the comments that I have found, some of the content, like, obviously people want to know about Janos a lot. Yeah, Nuka-Cola is Samia from the game Fallout, one of my favorite games. That was a big changing scenario for me, because a lot of you follows me from the Black Sheep days. Some of you have not. Some of you know me from Facebook or Twitter, and know the ridicule that I've received from the so-called community on Janos. And we'll get into this and more. Do I Spirited Woman, do you take topic suggestions? I take anything on advice on board. You'd be stupid not to. Do we do videos that someone said? I don't know if I do. It's weird. Spirited. The way I research is, I don't have anything planned. Right now I'm sitting here, and something will come to in my head, and bang, I'll make a video on it. I try and the first week, when you first started your channels, I'm like, I am going to do this topic, bang, and then it could be the case of nothing's come to pass, and I'll let everything, the surroundings, I let you guys, I let my intuition, point me in the direction to research and to look at, to make a content. Because it's not just about saying I think this and making a video on it and giving an opinion. That's not my style as such. I like to show you, yeah, this is my opinion, but certain people think this too. And if you did look at that a little bit different, don't this make more sense? And so on and so on. Paul, have you researched the architect and geopolymer construct? Can we turn it down just as fast as it seems? I've not really researched it. See, my forte before I did anything was ancient history. I just love it. I've looked into it all my life, and obviously different channels have talking on geopolymer differently, like Paul Cook's channel and different things. Sometimes I just like looking at certain topics a little bit different, because sometimes, and when you do a video, people automatically think you're doing it about them, and you're thinking ridiculing them. So that's why I just stick to what I do, which I don't know what to do. It's more natural. If someone says do this, do this, do this, I generally don't do it. It's not the fact that you've begged and begged, because like I said, you get lots of suggestions. Do this video, and I just let it natural. I let whatever my method is. For instance, it's weird how it is. It's just like a bell goes off inside, and I like, bang, I'm going to do that this week. You know what I mean? Yeah, just asked, have I done any traveling? I've done a lot of traveling when I was younger, because my dad was in the army, so I've traveled all over the world. An odd holiday here and there that I've been around the world. Would I like to do more? Yes, I would. So hopefully that's something I can do in the future. I did want to do videos and go around the places and just give my uptake on it. You know what I mean? That would have been something that I'd want to do. So I'm just going to go. If anyone's got a repeated question, please, please put it in the chat. Sean Rad said, "Have you always been aware of the lies? What's about that? The first flame for you?" I've never been different. I've always been like I've never changed. Like I said in many streams before, I've stood up in junior school and talked about Atlantis. I've talked about this and having a different opinion. Obviously, I think the only thing that's changed is the fact that you have more readily information, and that's why I treat information, the internet, as information, because there's just too much of it, and what is there is controlled. And people say, "Oh, we'll use this search engine because it's not them." It's all them. It's just different facets. It's like you being a mafia boss and pretend to giving someone something, and it's actually not. It's controlled. You know what I mean? So everything. That's why I just treat it as information. That way, you don't get as triggered, because people do get triggered a lot when you put a different, opinion before them. Real life, thank you. Glad you like the channel. And like I said, I'll try and go through all the stuff. But yeah, I don't have a topic. For instance, next video, I have not got a clue. Actually, I'll be honest, I had two or three questions, two, three topics in my head. And I said, I'll share with you guys. It's stuff in regard to L. And we talked about, I talked about 11. And this week, just for some reason, I'm just doodling, and I get, when you click on a picture and it leads you to different things. And I click on it, and it goes to this thing called L. And it's called electroluminescence. So I've learned of sonoluminescence and for, all the usual stuff. But I've never heard of electroluminescence, and it's called L, like the something godly. So, there's some of the things I'm looking at, how to put in the video, because it's, I have a unique style now, don't I? Don't I? Simon said, what about the topic of adding 100 years history? One of the most viewed videos on my channel, called The Babel Effect or The Great Vowel Shift, talks about everything like that, and why it was the greatest reset that this realm has ever seen, and no one knows about it. And a lot of people like that. They're talking about the vowels. So from 12th, 13th century to 18th, 19th, everything changed. The sciences, the language, maps, how they travel, everything. And it's called the Great Vowel Shift. You break down vowel, it's vowel to L. And what have we gone on to do? The realm of L11. And it's a jurisdiction of L. And that's the new stuff I'm looking at. Rosicrucians I might do. I've briefly used them. And then I've got the LOS coins I want to look into as well. And did you guys remember from the video I last did at L11 and I showed you the elusive coins were in green, were in green, and the grimoire was called the Green Book. I started to watch The Sandman on Netflix, and what did they pull out? A green grimoire, and they had a sigil to pull down one of the so-called gods and trap him here. I'm like, wow, because I've only just included that in the video. So it was crazy. So I'm just scrolling down. I'm going to try and keep on the comments. Jim Holmes, thanks for coming. Top of the world. Love how you felt, John, starting from Babel to Genoa. Yeah, it was crazy. I was just looking into Genoa, not realizing how it was connected, and it snowballed from there. And I just kept digging, and then more and more people have gone on the hunt now, and we're finding so much more now. But it's still being battled by big channels and people thinking it's just generic God of beginnings and endings. Vividness 420, thank you and welcome. So I'm going to just pull down because I am slightly behind here. Josephine Mitchell. I will show a few stuff. Hugh Arway, Moonbur, Slick Dissident, again, Mr. Mentor said. Yeah, so it's a crazy world, and I don't do enough lives, and I should do more, but I see how you people, what your people think, you know what I mean? It's me getting the time as well, doing it. I still don't like doing it. It's surreal. Do you know what I mean? You're sitting here, you're talking to people, and it's I still can't get my head around it, if that makes sense. So I'm just keep going. Yeah, it could have been a lot better, but like I said, I just use it for information. All these programs, I just found it so surreal. Me talking about that and not seeing really anything on the TV, and bang out they pull the Green Book, and they do all the little hieroglyphs that I was talking about and sigils on the floor. What was that? So I was unconscious of conscience and shared your video, and someone called you a wizard because of the poster. And Joe, what is that? That poster is from a video game, James. Nuka-Cola. It's from Fallout, because I love to play games. But that's some of the things that you have in this community. I'm not holding, and this is not aimed at you because you know I've known you for a long time and you supported the channel well. But there's some keen paranoid mother, like Samuel L. Jackson motherfuckers out there. Do you know what I mean? People accuse me of being all sorts, saying, "Oh, you got an orange poster behind it." It's actually red. It's just because I can't afford a top of the line camera, and I'm doing things in a room. People, that's one thing about the community I really don't like, and I don't believe it's a community at all. It's fractured, and you have a lot of people who are paranoid to fuck. Pardon the swearing. I never like to swear. I just don't get it. I really don't get how paranoid can people be. Like I said, I mean, you know, people buy a t-shirt, you wear a t-shirt, or I scratch my nose on my mace, and it's, I just don't get it. Do you know what I mean? I've never got my head around it, James. How people can be so paranoid. To be honest, it's down to these so-called super channels. You know, we're getting like 50 to 100,000 subscribers, and everything's a conspiracy. Well, it might be, but everything is opinion. People are still arguing the fact that the truth is not personal. Well, it is, because it affects us all differently. Do you know what I mean? And it's just crazy how people can get so paranoid because a channel's told them. I mean, who's told people orange is bad because it's a Freemasonry color? But if you type in Freemasonry colors, you'll come up with so many colors. Green is a Freemasonry color. What are we going to do? Not walk on grass? What about for the people who do love to smoke grass? Are they not going to smoke it because it's green? This is what's happening in the community. You got people being doom and gloom. Oh, the world's going to end tomorrow, but buy my book for $29.99. It's like, well, this world's going to end. What's the point? I'm not going to need the book. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And you know what I mean? I'm just like, that's what gets me. I'm just like you guys. I'm no different. Yeah, I've got not a lot of subscribers. I've had a good year because you guys have had me back. You guys are sharing me stuff. We, as content creators or whatever you want to call us, are nothing, absolutely nothing, without the support of people behind you. You're on your own. It's a hard life, and people have your back. People love you. You know, I want you guys to, you know, as I always say, I have this as a channel and I use it to get my thoughts out, and bang, it's on a video, and on any time I can go back and have a look what I was thinking at that specific moment on that specific topic. And I invite people around the world to come in, jump in, and see what they think of the topics. That is, no agenda. I don't want anyone to just think this is this or this. I want you guys to think for yourself. It's crazy the amount of people who've messaged me. This is the bad side again. That, oh well, this channel, and I'm not naming names because it's just not my thing. But a lot of people watch this channel and have had the supporters come on my channel and say you should give in because your stuff's crap. I'm like, okay, I'll delete my channel tomorrow then. It's like, really? And that's the problem. And a lot of channels have a lot of egos and all the subscribers. It's a clan. It is a clan. Do you know what I mean? And we all clan up. It's a natural human persona. Do you know what I mean? Of us to clan up. You watch a channel, and if you see anyone slagging that channel off or doing this and this, you will defend that channel. But that's why I've always said to you guys, always check a channel out, because there's a lot of nefarious people out there. But still, I've never ever said don't watch this channel, because it's up to you guys. So I'm just going to say, and I know that a shout out because people are coming in all the time. Terry Lucas, Last Jedi, Spirited Woman. Obviously, I've answered a question. I've seen a few. James, you're coming freaking awesome. Capalicious 420, Emma Bridges. Thank you. Nice to see you in alive. I don't do them enough. Dan McKenzie has asked me what I have against Freemasonry. Have I said I've got anything against Freemasonry? People just don't listen. Simon said, the world is ending. Shit's fucked up. Like and subscribe. Yeah, it's ending tomorrow, but still subscribe, like, and share. Will I be on a constant loop? I'll go to a few things. I've got some of the stuff out of that book to show you, and a few other things. But I just wanted to, you know, say thank you for the support from you guys on getting to this milestone. And people, obviously, like I said, I bear no grudge to anyone, and I just like to have a laugh as much as possible. And it's a hard life. So I'm just going to go down and try and see if anyone, like I said, any questions, I'm going to ask for them. James said Freemasons are scapegoats for comas. People don't even realize. People think it just goes up to 33. It doesn't. It goes up to 90, and then I believe, and a lot of good people believe, it goes up to 360. Because of the circle. And what happens, like anything, we have in this community, we have people who stick and refuse to budge. You know what I mean? If I tap my shoulder 33, you know what I mean? It's all things like this. And like I said, I've just been talking about it. People just need to have a lot of laughter in it and love. You know what I mean? And I'm not one of them love and light guys. I'm far from it. But this is like my house. And I've got some great friends that come in whenever I decide to do a live, and it's you guys. And you know what I mean? It's just I never get it. Oh, Ginger Green's in the house. But there's just so much out there that we don't even know. For me, and I've always said it, secret societies are that they're a secret. So if we know the names of them, they ain't a secret society. Anyone can, like I said to many people in this, anyone can come in my chats, my premiers, and just as long as you respect people's opinions, because they're going to be different, and don't that usual stuff that we get. Oh, yeah, we're supposed to be truthers. You do this for the truth, and you're restricted to the truth. If you come in being a bell end and talking to people like shit, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You talk to people how you want to be talked to yourself. I always go with this motto, or this, I don't know what you call it. If I died tomorrow, would I be proud of what I've done? And yes, I would. My kids are beautiful. They know right and wrong, but they also have a different brain. And I've brought them up to know right and wrong, but I've also brought them up to not take no shit. Do you know what I mean? People always try and take the shit. You know what I mean? And would you be proud of what you've done? And for instance, this is an example. Oh, all right, son or daughter, what have you done? Your daughter saying this to you, Dad, what have you done today? Oh, I went on your YouTube channel, son. Oh, YouTube. And, oh, yes, where people post content videos and blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, and I told them, I called them the motherfuckers and the Freemasons, re-shills and gatekeepers. Oh, aren't you proud of yourself, Dad? Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's my point. How can you be in a community of truthers, and you're going out there intentionally to troll? Do you know what I mean? And yes, we know about the computer generated one, but we know there's a lot of people out there. This is how I got my name, the Black Sheep Researcher, because I was in communities and I was being called names for having a different opinion. It is a crazy world out there, and we're making it even more crazier. You know what I mean? The stuff that I've been called wouldn't be as bad as a lot of people out there. And I don't, it's hard to read a comment, but YouTube don't make it easy anyway. But if someone's being funny, I just leave it. It's not worth my time. You know what I mean? It's like, would you necessarily knock at someone's door, walk in the house, and start calling them names, F's and B's and C's? You just wouldn't. And that's the problem with this reality that they've created, this construct. Oh, I'm on a keyboard, and that person will never come and find me. So you can say what you want. You can, whether it's showing your real face, your two-faced nature, or you think you're so hard because you're hidden behind a keyboard. We know them as keyboard warriors. Would they do that to your face? Not many would. Obviously, you're going to get one of the nutcase, but you wouldn't. Oh, Bobby Dazzler's in the house. So, like I said, bang in the questions, and if I say more, I will answer like the truthful as I possibly can. I don't hide, but I'm not here to slate other channels because content making is just too hard as it is. Yeah. And I said we wouldn't be anywhere. Paranormal highway. Yeah, that's what it is. And I love to see people's comments. You know what I mean? Of course, we have a bad day, and there's nothing more than we love to, someone who's a dick to you. You just want to, get him back, but it's never ending. You're just gonna waste your precious time. What better thing would a troll want? Would they want you to reply to them, or you go and do away something that it makes you smile, spend time with family, do whatever you want? It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? So I'm just scrolling down. KB's in the house. Miss Stormer. Yeah, that's what you're saying, Emma. I don't know why people have to be. People will say so many kind words about me, and it's so surreal because I'm no different than you guys. I've just got a channel that people love, and to go out your way to be nasty. I've had people, like I said, I've had a lot of supporters from a big channel that everyone's following at the minute tell me to give up because it's a waste of time, my stuff. So it's like, do you ever watch any of the videos? It's just my thoughts. I'm not bothered if it had 1 view or a million views. The reason we're here today is more to celebrate your people who's in the chat and people who's watching this live at home who can't comment. The support you from sharing my stuff. But yeah, I've had so many comments like give in, give up. I've had, oh well, I can't listen to you because we get taught, we get all the information from angels, so you've got to be shit. It's like, what's wrong with actually going doing a bit of research and just looking at something with a different perspective anymore? Why have you always had to have a sideshow or a gimmick? Just don't get it. Paul Cook, thank you. I just say your ears were probably burning. Just mentioned your name before. No, we're not having. That's what I said, Dan. I just saw your comment. Not calling you keyboard warrior. That's what I said. People automatically think you're talking about them. It's not. This is a broad sense of scope that people are asking me questions in the chat. There's nothing wrong with an open discussion, even heated, because people are passionate. We're passionate. We're human. That's what it is. We're human, and we. Well, I think. I don't think Steve Wheatley is. But apart from that, you know what I mean. Vertec, thanks for coming. Gary Elliott, Mark Swarbrick. So I'm just going to go through that. Like I said, just ask me and I'm going to get stuff. Let me get one thing out ready. Just open my file here. But it's a surreal thing. Like I said, I want to do a few little videos just to show. And some of these things you guys would have seen weeks ago. As I said, I don't do enough lives. I do plan on, but I want to see what you guys think. Should I do more lives? I don't want to. Like, we don't want you to do any lives, Paul. Shut up. Right. Let me see how we used to do this. It's been a while. Sure. I'll share. I don't want to share the screen. I don't want to do bloody slides. Here we go. So this was in the news a few weeks ago or months ago. And you guys know about my research on the 11 because it's come to. This is what made me want to do it. And this is what I'm seeing a lot in the press. We have 1,028 days left, and this was at the French Open or something like that, some big sporting tennis event. Well, look, 8, 9, 10, 11. And it's a statement. It's a transitional period that they're trying to do. They're trying to create fear in people and they always try and use the 11. It's a crazy world, and more people are looking at it and seeing it now. Even in the chat, they'll see. Oh, can I get this bigger? This was on a comment in a paper. Emily Stockforth, 29, 11. But here we go. Mum of 3 banned from driving for a year after testing 11 times over the legal limit at 11 a.m. So you got 11, 11, 11, 33. And she's 11 times over the limit at 11 a.m. They didn't need to say these so many 11s. They love to use it. And this is just some of the things I like to highlight and show people. They are intentionally going out to show you this 11. And the proof's there for everyone to look at. For instance, look at this. Britney Spears a few weeks ago. Let me zoom out. Britney Spears, fans confused after she shares 11 naked photos in an hour. 11. Why not 10? Why not 15, 20? Why is this 11 got to be out there? And this is the stuff why and behind I had to look at the realm of 11, because this 11 is coming out. But the thing is, when you start posting stuff like this, you get people totally going off topic. Do you know what I mean? I'm missing the point of what I'm trying to get at all the time, but the realm of 11. Thank you, Black Wolf. Loving the mist as well. I'm just like, I keep reiterating it. I know nothing, and I know nothing on a daily basis. And I'm here to learn each day and find something interesting each day. And tomorrow, will I find something that will connect tomorrow with yesterday and today? Because we live in the now all the time. So we just have to. Right, let me just go down. So I used to do a weekly, and then that, like I said, it was just getting too much, but I will bring something more in. So people will see it, and I ask you guys to have a look, see what 11 comes out, and I'll get people telling me I'm doing it all wrong and gematria. People just don't want you to find anything that the people are not seeing, not realizing that we all see differently. That is the funny and most ironic thing. We all look at things so differently and see different things and see different patterns. I miss so much. You guys will see your bit and you'll miss so much. We all miss so much. That's why we need each other. Plane Drifters in the house. Just get a little drink. Tom Slade, Buffer B. I've said Moonbird. Friend Ginger Grin. So he's Enoch Janus. Well, as you know, Enoch goes by many names. I think if I'm right, I'm like a goldfish with names. Waking Up with Analog, I think, has found something. Or was it me? I can't remember. But they always find a lot of stuff. Enoch goes by Metatron, but also a scribe and a messenger. I've seen Enoch being labelled as Janus in books, but again, that's just people's information. It's like I posted something on social media this week about the North Star, and as we know, we have people in the community talk about the North Star and how it doesn't move, and me saying that, yeah, but it has moved, and we've had another North Star, and this is the reason we have, because I've made many a video on it, including it, that the North Star was Thuban in Draco constellation. That's why we have a lot of serpent worship, because that was the North Star. Now you can get to the things that, yeah, well, that's just history and it's all a lie. It is all a lie and it's all the truth. It's everything in between. That's why I treat it. Javan just means with wine. So Javan is Janus Kungus Khan. That was just something about being the wine. That's when there was Noah and Janos was named as one. It means something to do with the wine, if I remember, off by off my head because I've got that much information in there. So yeah, you know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is. So I always like to say hello to anyone that I've missed. So Blended Roots, welcome. Fear, they love to use a fear. And Amber Bridge, thinking in Janet. Cynthia Wood, hello. Yeah, see, I forgot what I was thinking. Yeah, fear. And that's why I was talking about how they're trying to break our will and willpower. Because once we break our inner spirit, our fighting spirit, we're more easily controllable. And fear is one of the tactics. So please just put your questions in. Like I said, I'll go for a bit longer because, like I said, people don't see me that much. Diane Worley, welcome. Cynthia Wood, Squirrel Sniper. And that's why always people ask me, no, Janos is not this person, it's that person. It's all of them. When I first started this journey of looking into that, you couldn't find AJL or AJI9. Hello. Oh, it's Ashley. I read the last bit, Ashley. Welcome. You know what I mean? So people always want to know it's this, and this. It's just, Janos is just the key holder on how I found, and everyone in the chat who researches Janos now finds more information, because for their agenda, they want to connect and use Janos's name. So you will find everything being found connected to him, because he's got the keys, the frequency. So if this realm is all frequency based, the god that they worship over who's in charge of the frequencies would have to be a big personality, big god. And that's what I found. Captain Rankin, welcome. Sea King. Yep. What would Janus be? Multifaceted or multifaceted, able to mean different things to different people? Yeah, Janus is just the Roman name, but it has many Roman names. Portunus, I know it's not Roman. We got Mercury, got Diana. There's so many names. That's why I did that video, and I probably have to update that on A to Z of Janus, because he goes by so many names. But that is just how I found more information. For instance, if you type something into a search engine and not found anything specific, once I typed and put that name in, that was like the key. That's why I call him the key holder, and he has a key. You know what I mean? So that's how I found more information, and I've made more content through that way. But yeah, we look at things differently. So it would mean something different to everyone. And I don't say, well, Janos is this or Janos is that, because it's everything. It's the door. You know what I mean? It's just more than one thing. We're doing a lot better. Lady Laux or Lukes, thank you for your kind words. Like I said, people just banging out. Any questions? If I see it, I'll Rafael Melton Rodriguez Melgiano. I won't call this fame, my friend. But like I said, the people in the chat would say, have I changed since having one sub? I don't think I have. Your personality changes a little bit because you're getting used to the camera. I've never been one for the camera. I won't lie. It's not my thing. I don't like looking at it. But I do able to talk to the screen more, because it's weird. If you guys were talking face to face, it'd be a different damn feeling. You feel the electricity a bit more. You see people's faces. You can feel the body. you know, the body movements, you know, all that, and that's what's brilliant. But this is the best thing that we can do, unfortunately, until we meet people in person. So I have people that's been with me since the beginning, like Ginger Grin and Steve, and a few others in the chat. They will tell you, I hope, I've not changed, but you know, we do have a little bit of change in us because obviously we're getting used to the screen, we're talking to people. The Etruscans, no one really knows. And I always mean to look in them some more because they were quite, you know, let's say it's the precursors to the Romans, but people don't even know what the Romans are. I've had people call them the Babylonians. I've been saying this, they didn't exist. People have a lot of opinions because they base them off a big channel doing research. And that's how we all work. We have to get our information from everywhere that we can. And if a big channel who researches and you guys respect will say one thing, I always say to you, don't take what I say for granted, because even though I try and be objective, we all look at things differently. So when I say, please have a look at this, you have a look at it and you'll see something different. Just use it as reference points to get your mind into a topic, because there's so many good people out there and so many good topics. And there's people always say, oh, well, I'm the hardest working person on YouTube. No, we all work hard. What we do, my hard might be 10 times bigger than your hard. Your hard might be. No, I'm not going no, because that's just sounding like something Steve would like. But you know what I mean? These things are, you know, specifically to you. And making content is harder than I thought. I didn't take anything for granted. I just didn't expect as many idiots, if that makes sense. I know there was a lot of idiots out there, but people just get, you know, you have to watch what you wear, you have to watch you drink, but you know, it's that I will never get my head around. But yeah, the Etruscans are interesting. Obviously, I did that video on it. And it's an intriguing era. Obviously, I know that the language that they use has never really been, you know, broken down as such, and it doesn't go with the Proto-European. It's like they just came from anywhere, whether that's because they were the sea peoples and they came from more land. Who knows? I don't have a specific mindset on anything because I like to change my mind all the time from what I find. One day I could think of a specific thing, or what is this? Tomorrow I could think of something completely different. And what you guys will see in the community is people having so rigid thoughts. Well, that channel said this, and I'm not going against what they say. And that's what we're fighting. We're not just fighting the cabal or the so-called I'll call them the L-shites. The L-shites. We're fighting each other. We're fighting personalities. You don't need a gatekeeper when we've got ourselves to do it for us. I do love frequencies, Dan. And I keep wanting to look more into it. But like I was saying in one of my last videos, when we're doing cymatics, which I really do love, it's artificial in the sense of it's coming through a computer. And would this reality be a lot different if we didn't have so much sound pollution? Dragon Sage, welcome. To bar or not to bar, that is a question. Bar indeed. Colin Robinson. Oh, sorry, I thought that was a question. Scythians are interesting. Everything's interesting. We've all got our Scythians, haven't we? Yep. Janice Carbat, you know, carbine, carbide, carbon. There's so much that we've researched over the years, and people send me all the time. That's what the point is. People always like, oh, no, Janice again. It's why they're naming it this. Because in this reality where frequencies are key, no pun intended, we have to label things. La is still a song, a voice, a tone, and bell, well, bell, baal, whatever you want to name it, all ties to Janos. But that's just what I say, doesn't mean it's fact. Morning Glory, got that song in my head now. People will insult anything, mind the gap. I don't know why I get insulted, but for instance, we can all disagree on something. That's natural, that's human. But if I disagreed with you, I wouldn't go all over YouTube or all over X amount to insult you. That is my one flaw, I would say, in the sense of, well, I've got many flaws, but you know what I mean. I just can't get my head around it. We're supposed to be a community, which we're not. We're supposed to be looking into so-called truth. We know the power of a spell. We know so much, yet we spend most of our time, and this is not directed at anyone, this is in general, and I include myself in that. We spend all our time insulting other truthers because basically you're jealous, because that's what it would be. And I try and use that verse, who's the fool himself or the idiot who argues with a fool? If you're not jealous of anyone, why would you waste your precious time? Go and do something more positive. Not positive, you can do anything with your own time, but you know what I mean. Last few weeks seeking, I've not been well, so I've been sluggish, yeah. The guitars. Like I said, anyone got any questions, bang them in. I will try and answer them. We just, like I said, we just question everything. It's like we're here to, you know, it feels lately that we're here. We should not ridiculing each other. Don't get me wrong. I don't like a lot of people. I'm normal. We don't meet everyone and go, whoa, you know, and we're best friends. Some people we just butt heads straight away, and so then obviously more time you spend in company. It's different if you're in person, but you know what I mean. Sometimes we say don't judge a book by its cover, but when we see someone on video, someone will see me. Oh, he's itching his nose. He's a Freemason. He's a devil incarnate, or I just don't like him. I can't understand him. I speak too fast. I speak too slow. We snap judgments, and I don't hate people who do that because we've all done it. We're not saints, you know what I mean? It's just you have to just acknowledge our own flaws. And there's loads of topics that I want to keep going back to on videos. And what I'm going to do is, in a minute, I will put some few pictures on the screen, and we'll go through. I want to show what I can. Does these signs and symbols mean it's fact? No, these have just been found throughout history, and it's just a person's perspective. And that's what everything is. It's always that person's perspective. Yeah, I wish I had a bit of hair on my head, but yeah, it is growing nice to be now. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, whether I'm going to put a thing in it and be like a Viking. I don't know. It was just a bet someone had to see who could grow it. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm like a kid at heart, really. You know what I mean? I just like to have a laugh. Some people don't get your humor, but exactly, we're all different. Yeah, it's grown a bit. Yeah, it can nearly ponytail it now, but we'll see. So what also, guys, you can put in the comment questions. What would you like to see for the following year from the channel? You know, I just like to go with the flow. Yeah, there's also a thing, Dan. Oh my god, talked about it so much, now I want to talk about it. I forgot the Baxter effect, when he did electrodes to plants and he actually read our thoughts. You know what I mean? We're all connected, and even plants. So plants can hear your thoughts and react to you, and that was called the Baxter. Back as your back, and then STER, the Baxter effect. People will say, "Oh, that's not legit," and that's what we get in this reality. We get people who will make snap judgments that this is not impossible. This is not impossible. Nothing is never impossible. It's only impossible in your head to you. And if we are capable of manifestation or whatever way you want to look at it, that's why they need to label things and keep the spell in this reality. That's why they give it a label: phone, mobile, cell, what you guys call it, and that keeps it stuck in this reality, because everything is supposedly vibrating on a molecular level. Then people say, well, no such thing as molecular, there's no such thing as molecules, because they made judgments on everything. That's why you guys will post stuff on social media and people will go totally off topic. Well, that's not true, because the bang, bang, bang. It's like, for instance, when I posted that thing on about the 11s with Britney Spears, I got the usual transvestigation and blah, 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 and all this. And then I just said, okay, the God is a God of transitions. Baphomet is Janus, transitions. There's pictures of him being that word I can't pronounce, Right, or also that. So it's basically, like I've said for years, the transitional thing that they're doing for male to female is in honor to Janus, but no one mentions it in that community, or not many. Vici Antonazzi. I don't know him personally. People in the chat know him and watch his channel. Yeah, I am Ginger again. I'm going it for a bet. No money, of course. It's just like, when someone says something to you, you just want to do it out of spite. So yeah, like I said, we try and talk about anything on this channel, because I love to treat it as information. Chris, I would love you to have Jason from our KF chat. I highly doubt it. I'll do that. But like I said, you never know. I don't restrict myself to anything. Right, with Squirrel Sniper asked a question, I think. Taste buds are back. Oh, that was someone. Do you think we're here to learn or escape? That was Mind the Gap. A good question. I don't know. As simple as that. I'm just like you guys. I will have a different opinion going through daily. I've had thoughts that we're living in, what's it, purgatory type of thing. I've seen things in Gnostic books saying God or Jesus has gone because he wants us to find him, and by doing that we do that by learning, and that ties in with other things about learning, and when we learn more we glow more. You know what I mean? So I just don't know. I change on a daily basis and I don't want to restrict myself. Where do we escape to? If you look at my Mind the Gap, I don't know how long you've been with me. I know you've been for a while, but in that vowel shift, Gnostic people talk about how the Elshites have rigged the game in a sense of they want our energy. And that's talking about, remember the circuit boards, they want us to come back. And to do that, they change the vowels, which is the vowels to L. So they change the vowels to the God. And thus, if we don't speak every word or learn every word and know the names, either the sigil or the name of each archon, we get recycled back to here. Now, that could be phooey to some. I just see it as information. It's intriguing. It gets me thinking. Is the game being rigged to keep us here? To use that energy? It's not necessarily like a battery, but spiritual energy, or are we here on purpose? In a sense of, did we have an epic battle? Right, for instance, you saw some realities were in ancient India, the Hindus, that they look like they've been nuked, and you see melted stuff all around the place. Did a reset happen? And did we have to quarantine ourselves, that word again, away from reality? And did we go into a simulation of sorts? I mean, this is what happens when having an open mind, because as soon as you have an open mind, people automatically think that's your truth, that's your belief, and that's what you're rigid on, because they do it. I don't. That's just my opinion at this split second. When I see someone comment in the chat that have a brilliant thought, I'll go, wow, because we're easily persuadable. And if you're willing to learn a lot, you should be willing to bend with it. I've heard many things. I don't think I've heard of Ascension Flu. Steve's asked, what have I decided on a topic for next? No, I was just looking into that. There's actual electroluminescence, and they actually shown it to call it L. And obviously, I was thinking, how do I make that into a video where I'm talking about L? Because obviously, there's so many different names of L, and obviously, electric, the jurisdiction of L. And there's a light form known as electroluminescence, which obviously is in regard to, luminescence and electric being, inserting in it, and it changes color. And a part of that is phosphorus, and we know phosphorus is another name for certain gods. And that's what intrigued me, so I don't know whether to put that into a video. Anyone new? I've got username 23. Sarah Sutherland, welcome. Mr. Mensa, that was. Anyone want to see a chat, I will say hello. Yeah, Emma. Oh, sorry. Scratch my shoulder. Who is Paul's favourite YouTube channel? I don't have one. And that's not like to call anyone. I just don't have enough time. I'm in that persona, whereas if I have a free 10, 15 minute, I'm making content, I'm researching, I'm making a video, I'm writing it down. I do watch a certain people, for instance, like the guys from, got it off my head now, there's Rob, I call Rob the Thong, and we have Sam in a chat. See what I mean? When people ask me to remember things, it just goes off my head. But I've been on a few channels. I like some of the people in the chat. I've not done shows with different people, but yeah, even see what I mean? I forgot. I feel like who's the channels? I mean, I don't really follow anyone, but in the sense of I do like a few people. I like the openness. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look if I've got anyone subscribed. So yeah, a Stoic Knight to Malta I'll watch because he's a good guy. I know I watch things, but she changes the channels every 2 weeks. Above is below. Antidote for Mara. Then obviously I have the guys from who do the Friday shows. But yeah, you know what I mean? And I watch anyone who recommends. I have a list, and I try and go down the list. I try and write them down from watching the shows, and I try and watch people because there's a lot of good people and a lot of good content out there. And that's the problem is, if, for instance, I did a live now, which I'm doing a live now, and one of your channels that you like, it's like, well, Paul won't know we're missing. We'll go and watch our channel, and that's fine. I don't mind it. You know what I mean? You give me your support. But we all have, the channels that we support more. It's just, it's just a fact of life. I don't mean anyone through it. I do think, this is nothing to do what Loving the Mitts has said, but I do think more ladies should make channels. That's the point. Divine disruptor, system busters. And if anyone wants the channels, just say, you know, I'll read them out. You know what I mean? I always promote what I can. We must either correct the meaning of all words, or we're going to have to learn to communicate. I believe we used to do that anyway, because it's funny, like certain words have double and triple and quadruple meanings, and then you have the translations. Then you've got the Tower of Babel. We just don't know. And when people say, you know, you're talking out your ass, which is highly possible to do, but my point is, how do you get your information? Like I showed last week, I read information from this book, and you said, well, this book is made 5 years earlier and it says something different, and I'm going with this. Who's the judge of what information is right? Who says it's this? Is it just the sheer amount? If 50,000 people said you shouldn't watch this or read this because the information is wrong, who is the one? And that is why I don't do that. I just say treat everything as information. That way, you know, you don't get triggered as much. Did we have a different language completely? You know, that's one way of controlling people. Have different ethnic dialects. For instance, I don't know where you come from, but in the UK we have a lot of different dialects. And then in more past tense, it was harder for people to travel, obviously through cost and rigging it so only the rich could travel. And having a different dialect and a different understanding of words would severely hamper you. Oh, that would be so funny. I used to have, you know, kind of dumb. If you remember from your stuff, I used to have the screen mask behind me looking, and people said I was demon for having that. And I'm just like, you know, I'm here to make a content. I'm not spending each week saying I'm a demon or this and this. People just don't have any humor. You know what I mean? Someone was on about that, Francesca, for Christmas, putting I don't know how long it'll be. I might shave it by then. I don't know. Todd Rouch, thank you. So I'm looking at 10 things a minute. I just want to. Leslie Ann, do you ever look into old architecture symbology? Like I have a lot. You know what I mean? So I just like look, you know what I mean? I will admit the first person, I do find it hard to read. Dyslexic. And I've always been different. I've always been a dreamer. And when I look at words, it's like, for instance, I look at a word and I can't even read it. I don't even know what language it is. And then the next minute, it's like something turns on and then I can start to read it. You know what I mean? So I've always been like that. And I'm learning to read in the sense of, again, do you know what I mean? Because I, for instance, if I read one line of something out of a book, it'll get me thinking. And then it's months till I'm back because it's put me on another merry-go-round, another rabbit hole. Idiot Sandwich, Buffer B, Love the Mates, Tom Slade. So I always try and take them as much as possible in. Free Press 66. The people trying to run the world, who are they really? Don't know. And we have to be honest. I've done research into one of the oldest Masonic orders about Pythagoras, but that guy never wrote anything yet. He's named associated to everything. Did he exist? Who knows? He might not have existed because the reality is written, but it's just information. And these secret orders, and there is an order out there by Pythagoras, but it's not that one. It's the actual one that the elites worship. Is all connected to everything. But like I was saying before, a secret society we should not know the name of because it's secret. These are intentionally put out there, like the Illuminati. That Illuminati was from Bavaria, 1770 something. I believe that's like the fall guy, another fall guy. I don't believe there is a secret society, and that was supposed to be a corporation of secret societies. And then we have all this stuff about Tartaria, the Swabian League, and you've got all these different secret societies out there. We just don't know who actually has a hand on it. Is it the 12 bloodlines, 13 bloodlines? Is that why that number gets repeated? So when we look at things in general, these are the questions we have to look at all the time. Is it because they run it because of this? I would assume this. I don't want to say they're like us in a sense, but if they are a human or are they another race, I don't know what's out there. Are we the if you go to scripture, which I don't know and I don't pretend to, but wasn't is it the Leviathan made first or something like that? That's just an example. Are we the first species? Then you have people who believe in Sumerian and Anunnaki and other religions thinking we are made. And then you going on that merry-go-round again and you're getting lost again. Is all this knowledge done intentionally to keep us lost? That's the thing as well. Clarissa reads, asking, how do I subject for research? I used to, like I was saying before, I used to really go at it. I want to research this and try and find something, but it wasn't natural. It wasn't me. So now I don't have a topic from week to week. That's sometimes why I'm also late in putting content out, but I just go with the flow. And if something happens, or I'm doing a video, or one of you guys comment on something, that'll just push me or give me a kick, and then it'll go from there. For instance, 11s, I was doing a lot of research, wasn't it, into Janos and 11, and it just got me to thinking, well, I did that old video from years ago, and electric meant, and this is just my opinion, of course, the jurisdiction of L. Wow, people are saying it's circuit boards and big channels, and that's all people saying, these big channels, and people saying it's electric. And then, but what about this jurisdiction? This makes it go even more wow. And I've always had that in the back of my head. And then all this 11 started to come in. What is this 11? And then I had people saying, does it mean it's nasty, evil? It's all about the intent. It's all about, we're the walking ones. We have the voice of God in us, the vocal cords. Some of the stuff I did on that. It's so funny when you're going through Twitter or anything and you see people using your work and you're like, that looks familiar. And then because you've done so much content, it takes a few minutes for you to hit you. Yeah, that's what I did on the vocal cords, the sacral region down below. Then some of the things I might want to revisit in the sense to do a 1 or 2 minute video, just pinpointing that, because I've had people say my videos are too long. I've had people tell me my videos are too short. Some people have said I don't do enough. Some people I don't do too much. You know what I mean? It's in this realm you've got to learn that you can't please everyone, and that is why people asking do a tech thing for videos. I do. I take everything on board, but I just go with my intuition, my gut. People can say it's God, anything. It pushes me in the direction to research a video. And I do stick on Janos a lot. I'm the first person to admit it, but that's what I'm finding all the connections, and I wouldn't be a person who looks for information if I'm refusing to look at it. See, you will have, for instance, like I said, I do research a lot of topics. You can go on my channels and you can see. Can I get it up on here to show you guys? Because we all have a different view of what our YouTube is, don't we? Mine's gone dark. Right, can I get it on? Right, that'll be. So I'll share it with you guys, and then we can see. Because I have so much content, it's unbelievable. Here we go. So there's my channel as I see it. It's black because I do suffer from light sensitivity. So you can see I have uploads, and I'm going to change this because some of the stuff I'm not doing enough of, but I have uploads, and that's just what gets uploaded at the minute. There we go, 197 watching. Thank you. Then the Realm of 11, that was a part 2. The Centaurus 100% Bull. So you can see I do different content at the Bank of England, and how the Bank of England video went and pushed me onto the time travel video. Hence why that's how I do it. I just let the reality find me. So I have Beneath the Neon, and this is where I look at cities in general and looking from a bit different. I've done Las Vegas, I've done New York City, Genoa, Vatican, Bank of England, and London. And that was just Bank of England, the time machine. I have a spell etymology section, and that's where I just look at words differently. Not necessarily what is correct, but I just look at words and break them down differently to find hidden meanings. Whether you find that interesting or not, I've done a few. I need to put some new old ones up. So I have reset, NASA. People think, oh, NASA, to deceive. It actually means in another language a trap, to snare, which I find more intriguing. Create, needles, interesting on graphene. Smart, obviously smart watches. Balmoral, model, angels and demons, Lucifer, actor, and obviously Centaurus, bull. And then I've got Tartarian mud floods section. As you can see, there's loads in there. Obviously, my Janus section. The usual suspects is just A to Z. Janus 101. That was before I even did about 101. What if topics? So I've got something about Lemuria on the Masons and 33 the Dead Oh My. Curses, medieval monsters, Tempest Fuji, it's one of my favourite. The Dender Mystery. That one is the Babel Effect, the Great Vowel Shift. That's under what if topics. Dancing Plague. Are we just another brick in a wall? The Mandela Effect. That is another one I can briefly talk about, but I've got Ancient History, Ancient His Story, For Flock's Sake. So some of them do repeat, and these are my popular uploads. So you can even go to there. I mean, in the last year, that's when I've got a lot more reviews because of you guys having me back. And then I do have a short video section at the bottom. So, you can see I have a lot for you guys to ponder. Right, let me get back to you. So I have to go back up again. Oh, session in the Nile popped in. Biscuit, have you heard of the Green? I have, but I don't know too much on it. I will, admit. Hippie Shake. Oh, sessions in Nile. My old host. We used to do a show every Friday with Session. Very smart lady. When she's not making sea sandwiches. Oregon Outlaw 2000, Sherry Ives, JC Sun, Christine Buckley. So like I said, I don't really have it. What hampers the channel as well is, and I've got to admit it, because I don't have enough free time for someone to say, right, can you come and do this show? You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's what hurts me. But like I said, I've got you guys, so you know what I mean? Right. I'm trying to find questions. Oh, he's a brutal boy, Mr. Mensa. I thought I felt it. Sally Scott. Right. Unearth, he just said, channel named Asher Logos is pretty cool. Don't know it, but obviously people now can hear it and it's been said. And if people in my chat are so smart, sometimes I'm like, what are you guys doing watching me? You know what I mean? Oh, those things I say hello, the Tartarian Truth, you know, Alexis Shaw, Naz Noz. See, someone saying, what's the gematria? There's no gematria on it unless you want to write it down and figure it out. The cabs. I don't know what's all that one. You know about that? That's just a generic post of New York. What's it called now? Times Square. I call it Times Square, but they say it's Times Square. New time is now. I'm new. What is Janice? I don't know. No, really, Jenny. Janos is. This is just my opinion. But he is the Cabal or the El Shite, God of gods. Not my words. People always say, "Oh, he's not a god." That's their words, and words are found in ancient, well, not ancient, but books, because the book was written 10 years ago and put on the internet. So, do you know what I mean? So, he's just the god. I've made a lot of content on it. You know, you can start anywhere. I don't try and rehash stuff. You'll see, for instance, my old videos like Janice 101, how I've progressed and how, you know, we're changing. But for instance, if you guys ever watched, what's it called now? Evan Almighty, you'll see Janos in it. He actually appears as God in it, and he is the janitor, mop and bucket, wearing the New York hat. New York is the 11th state. He had the two pillars behind him and the stairways. So you'll see him in different things, and that's just his Roman name. He can go by so many names, and that's the intriguing thing of it. Why all these different names and so on. And this is what happens a lot in like I said, if anyone just knew, the reason I've done this show is because we hit 1 million views, and I just want to say thank you for all the love and support. People don't say it enough. As people, sometimes we do consume by looking at the negativity and not enough of the positivity. And we have a lot of positivity in this channel and good people. But like anything, good people can have bad days. I have bad days. I can be an ass at times. People think I'm so mellow, and I am. But that's because I've learned through experience. Being angry does not get you necessarily there all the time. But people, you know, we all have that side where we take no shit, and I'm the same. But I've just learned to don't waste my energy on it, because people will have you talking backward and forward in negativity all night and all day, and you just end up wasting your time. And where have you got? You know, what have you learned from it? Nothing. And people will watch and look for anything. For instance, no, this is not actually aimed at you, but you know, I mean, I've said this before you came in, Tartarian Truth. People will look behind me for t-shirts, Mike scratching nose. It's just not me. If people want to be like that and troll, it's, you know what I mean? It's the Tartarian Truth. There'll be secrets hidden there. Anything, my friend, that's why I always look, and why I need people like you to look at different things, because we will all see differently. That's, you know, sometimes I swear, sometimes these things change. But yeah, there's always hidden things in everything. But sometimes that's our own downfall, like me and you guys will look at something and there's got to be something hidden in that. And sometimes it's not. It's just like for it to keep us, you know, looking. Right, let me show you some stuff out of the book. I don't want to go through too much. We'll just pick a few. I'll show you on screen, and I'll just get up to it because you saw a lot at the beginning through the videos, and I just want to get up to it. We'll start looking at a few things on the cross in a minute. And like I said, if anyone wants their channels read out, please put a question and I'll read your channel out. Some of you guys don't have channels but just support me, and some of you do. Some people do need a shout out. You know, we need to shout out people because I've had the shout out, and that it gives you the little push, and we all need people to do that. Catherine O'Connell, thank you. Yep, Janice Islands again. Free press. I know you've been with me for a while. Why no one other channels who look at specifically that stuff not looking at this? And that's just things that get me. You have two islands in this realm, one at opposite ends. People always talk about there's more land, and there's inner Earth. There's so many different people have a different opinion on what this realm is: circuit board, flat, you name it. But they always talk about the ice wall, and they talk about more land, the gateways, portals, or could that be how it's powered? Obviously, the positive and the negative, the two poles, the 11. But what if it isn't the place where there's more land? Think about it. They have gone there and named it, give it that spell, that name, Yanis Islands, and there's two. And how many channels do you people watch who really go into depth on more land and different things? And how many times have you heard them mention Janis Island? I bet you'd be down to one or two who would have watched me and mentioned that. But why are these people not looking into Janos and finding? Because they'll find stuff I've not seen, or waking up for analogues have seen. And Jay in the chat, you've got two islands named after a god of doorways and portals. I was tattooing truth. I don't know if you know, I used to have a channel called the Black Sheep Researcher. I had about, what was it, guys? About 11 to 15,000 subs. People wanted to give me donations. I'm not really one for that. I've started it up again after 3 years in the sense of the buy me a coffee, but I put it to a poll and people voted for me to monetize so they could do these things, because obviously, just like what people say, you can say I work hard. You don't have to agree with what I put out, but I put as much effort in as anyone in the chat, and I did that. And within 10 minutes of going to the process of monetize, bang, 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 the videos were getting something down. I was getting the top warnings, and I thought, you know what, I'm going out swinging. I'm going to end the channel my way, and that's what happened. And I became What the Flock TV. So that's how the What Flock TV came into existence. But yeah, there's so many people out there with brilliant thoughts, and I just don't get it why they don't want to look at Janos, because you guys know it. See how it comes. Just look at it. You believe in more land. There's two Yanis Islands. You people do videos on the pandemic. It was for him, and all the things connects because I've done videos on it. So you can see how much that connects. Yeah, these people won't, because these are some of the channels that used to call me. I always feel the Black Sheep Researcher. So that's why even on this video, I've put the Black Sheep Researcher, because I'll always be the black sheep. And in the sense, What the Flock is merged with that. And like I said, when I get more time, we'll do more lives and I'll make stuff, change it up. But it's just about celebrating and just being in each other's company. I just love it. I know. I didn't actually know. There's only a certain amongst who I speak to on a daily basis. And I planned on going live yesterday, but I had a problem with my boiler. sense of breaking down, and I had to get that fixed, and it got fixed at like 6 o'clock, and I thought, you know what, I'm not just going live and giving nothing on you guys any notice. So I thought I had to do it the next day, and I saw the 11, and I thought, oh, people are going to think I've done it on purpose. But again, is that the reality making it so? Who knows? Yeah, the black sheep. So you never know. I always leave it up to people. Do people like the what the flock type of thing, or do they want the black sheep to come back? Right. I'll just do a few at a time. And like I said, people will know this, but people are wondering I bought this book, and you can get it on free PDF, but I've lost the link. I don't know what it was, and it just gives you a few to look at, and it's just intriguing. Like I said, it just goes into the Book of Signs, and it's what Steve Wheatley in the chat loves a lot of. Rudolph, and I'll not say his name, but Steve loves it. And people wondering why I do get on Steve, because we've adopted him, and it just talks about how this is symbols and signs from the earliest times to the Middle Ages, and I just find it's just intriguing. Some of it's hard to read because it's an that stupid font that could have been changed, but it just makes you think a little bit differently. You know what I mean? I No, I'm not saying how old I am, because I am pretty old. I remember Fred Nibner. So I'm going to share a bit with this. Let me just get up on the screen, and then we don't have to wait any time. I was saying to Steve before the chat yesterday, or was it today, that I'm like, I don't like doing lives because I don't like the camera, but I don't like letting you guys down as well, because I've never got my head around people sitting at home on the couches or sofas, whatever you call it, and wanting to watch me. Do you know what I mean? Because people do use me to go to sleep. I must admit, so that is good. You know what I mean? Any way I can help. Right? Did we have shirt on? So this is just from that book, guys. And I'll not go into it too long because I can't see the chat. So on the page, you can look at like zoom that in or out. Or that thing at the bottom just stuck it out. Let me read from the book. Good job, I got my book in front of me. So obviously that says that is the Latin cross or the crux, and ordinary in early times called God's mark, the most exalted emblem of the Christian faith. And it doesn't just talk about it religious, it talks about most things in this. Obviously, in the medieval period this is from is in the Great Vowel Shift, when they changed vowels. And did they change gods? Because, you know, that's the intriguing thing about that. So it says, in the most exalted emblem of the Christian faith, the sign of all signs, by far the greater number of signs in the Western world are based on the shape or part of the shape of the cross, whether they be imperial monograms, Masonic signs, family signs, chemical symbols, or trademarks, as it says. So that's just basically on the cross. And in this book, it's got loads in it. Like I said, I don't want to go through everything. Some of it you'll know straight away. And obviously that one is St. Peter's Cross. And obviously to legend, St. Peter died on the inverted cross. But it's funny, Peter is the first pope, but you change it to Pater, which means father. And then you get all the Janus links of being the first pope and precedent to Peter. And this one, as you can see, is St. Andrew's Cross, upon which St. Andrew suffered a martyr's death, also called the crux dissecata, if that's the word. The boundary cross of Romans, derived from the cross used by them as a barrier. Some people believe this is the cross or the crucifix, and then you've got the firk and different things that I think I include in this. So I'm just going to read a few out, and then I'll go back to it, because I don't want to, to leave you guys just in the chat. Do you know what I mean? And this one is, again, this one's St. Anthony's, or the Egyptian cross, the crux commissar, also called the Tau cross, from the Greek letter T, tau. St. Francis used this as a signature. So you can see it's got a lot of things in. The Greek cross, the crux, Missima quadrata. From this and the Latin cross, the following forms were derived in the Middle Ages for heraldic purposes. So you can just say it covers quite a lot. See, cross pater. Some of them they don't give too much. Obviously, at the bottom is a Maltese cross, and these are all signs from medieval and early Christendom. Cross bonnet or trefoli, and at the bottom you've got the cross fleuret or cross of cleaves. So you know you have a lot in here. And then you got the cross of Pommery or the cross Pommery. So you know you can just see how there is a lot of different crosses, and this doesn't cover all of them, by the way. Cross pater Fici, which looks like a sword. And obviously there is these, you know, like we were saying before, a lot of things remain, other things. This is common figure, appears in the connection as the fork. I've talked about this many times. The Furka cross, also called the thieves cross. And that's the Y that I was talking about last week. And then you got the patriarchal cross, or the cross of Lorraine. I was showing you that how that is in reference to the meta symbol in my old video. Did I cross? Yeah, just clicked on that and it looked like I was going through it. And then you got the purple cross, or the triple cross of the Western peoples. Then you've got the broken or chevron cross. I've never saw that one before. That's an intriguing one. The cross potent. So there's a lot of crosses in this. Another form, the cross potent, milled or skilled. I can't read that word. Allied to this is the cross mulline, which is met with in two forms, which is it's intriguing about the arms on that. So you can see this one doesn't have anything, but you know it's intriguing nonetheless. Some of these are just intriguing to look at, aren't they? The Russian cross with a slant on the footrest. I saw that on a symbol for gold somewhere once. They were looking for treasure. The crosslet, also called. Let me find out where it is, because that'll be on the next page. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Also called, there we go, turn the page, the Holy Cross of the German Cross. Amongst the Gnostics, the sign of the fourfold mysteries. Right, well, that's enough for that bit, and I'll get back to this in a sec. So I just don't want to miss the people in the chat. And I'll get back to this in a minute. I'll just leave it there so I can follow along. And like I said, people will talk about tree, and some people say it's not a tree. There's so many different things, and that's why Cross of Jerusalem is in there as well, ginger green. But also, what's intriguing is if you've watched Westworld, and you'll see the Jerusalem cross in that, and it's a cross with the 4 dots. That is how you make a labyrinth. That is how you use it to make a labyrinth. I've included it in videos. Michael Stephen, welcome. Well, you just missed me waffle on. Basically, if anyone's just joining, I'm just saying thank you for people that supported me this year. In just over a calendar year, we've had 1 million views. I mean, you say it like that. I'm not on TikTok, so I know that's nothing on TikTok and different things. But to me, it means a lot. It is, and I just want to say thank you, and that's what this is about. So people, get questions in if you want me to ask. Loving the missus going picking blackberries. Enjoy. And that's what I want to say on my channel. I don't want to say, when I look at that symbol, I'm not saying that's fact. I'm saying that's as a person's opinion. We should all have a different opinion because we find so much. That's what I mean. We should be learning new things each day. I keep meaning to go on to a new world. I think it's season 3 or 4 now. I did an old video which is on my Black Sheep Research Odyssey Westworld. I always keep meaning should have made that into a new video because I can do things a bit better. That's an intriguing video if you want to watch that. It goes into a lot. Where's it gone? Someone, what do you think? I don't watch him, so I don't want to give an opinion. You know what I mean? And that's what you never really find me really give an opinion because I could have put a channel, caught him on a bad day, and make an assumption because people do it about me. I don't know the person. I've not watched any of the content. I know a lot of people do watch him. See what happens on things like on here is that people, like, oh, he doesn't like or he likes her, but their person, you know what I mean. So I don't get into that. I've never prayed so much in my life in the last 2 years. Has woken a lot of people to the lies. Do you pray? I do, in my own way, if that makes sense. I talk to myself a lot. You know what I mean? You know, you can say what you want for that, whether you should you or not. I don't know. But we're all uniquely different people. And what I don't like as such is, as soon as you say something, someone jumps on it and says, this is wrong. You do what's best for you. This world is bad enough as it is. Look after you. Number one, look after your family first or whatever. No, there's no order, but look after your family, look after you. Because if you do want to help people, you cannot help people if you're not going to help yourself. Do you know what I mean? There's no point in you preaching anything and, you're not a nice person as such. You know what I mean? You just got, we're all in this together. We all have our ups and downs. I'm just blocking that person because I think that's a troll. If not, I apologize. Right, so if anyone's in the chat, a moderator, that it looks like we're talking about Tinder, please block. I just tried blocking it, it won't come up. Yeah, I've made it the bots. That's the first time I've had bots, Buffer B. So if anyone's in the chat, I get let out a lot of things. Like you said, how many times have you people said, have you watched What the Flock? And people have gone, ooh, because people just don't know me. I don't, like say, I don't put myself about, you know what I mean? I just get on with making content because I just need to get my thoughts out. Steve did lives. If people want me to do more lives, I'll do more lives. I don't know if it was the OCD thing in me, but because I'm going slower and slower, I just didn't want lives. And like I said, I changed content today. It was just spontaneous in the sense of saying thank you to the people. And again, I will say it and people can clip it. Channels do not give the people who support them enough credit and enough praise. I will. Plane Drifters asked, how do I see things? I can't put it into words. I will say when I'm onto something and I make a connection, I do cry. I'll admit it. I get so emotional and I tingle and I just feel, go for it. You know what I mean? That's just how I've always done things. But again, these are just my path. When you find these connections, you're doing it for you. You know what I mean? And when I do that, I just shared it with you guys and see what you. Oh, that was what I wanted to mention. Yeah, people. There's a lot of people who believe in the Mandela effect. The people in the community. I've got a lot of friends in the community who follow me all on my channel, and I've found, this is just my own opinion, that the Mandela effect comes from the Sumerian times. They had what the Mandela effect affects, and it's called MEs. So wouldn't you be, again, intriguing? Why does no one in the community look at that? Again, it's like the Giannis Islands. It's not me having ego, you got to, and I want credit. I just find people we all look at things differently. And the people who excel making content on that type of thing should look into it. And you can dismiss it and say it's crap. But these Sumerian MEs affecting everything, and sometimes the physical objects and sometimes the spiritual. And the more MEs you had in a city, the more prosperous it became. And these were getting stolen, and the cities were going down like the shithole. And there was geography, there were there were music, it was language, geography, everything that so-called the Mandela effects now, and they're called MEs, and the Mandela effect is called ME. And this is in time of Janus as well, because Janus is obviously all the people have showed you in the Sumerian times. And then you've got obviously the 11 and stuff like that. George Guy, so on my personal opinion on that, I can't say for Flop the Bot TV, yay! I can't say for people, but to me, I know there's been various names suggesting on who built them, but think about it. You can't just build anything without permission. And I've always said, these things are put there for us to test us. You know what I mean? And the information, and you will have people who specialize looking into them topics. And you know what I mean? It's all about trying to keep us from. There's something that they always want us not to look into, and I don't know what topic it is. It could be in general, but I always believe it's ourselves. We don't look within as much as we should. Check out Vertex new tune. They always got a new tune. Nigel Betts, welcome. He was just asking, symbolism in your fair spells there against us, good souls for hundreds of years. And I've always changed my tune. We've always said that it's hidden in plain sight. Well, it's true, but it doesn't mean it's hidden. It's only hidden to you at a specific time. And when you've raised, like I said in the video, raise your frequency, and it's increased your, like, the torus field as such, your field of view, things become visible. And that's through learning information, in my opinion. I'm all over the place, Chris, of my topics. I'm all over the place. Sometimes you will see a lot of them connecting, and some videos will connect like from 2 years ago. It's just it's intriguing, and I feel blessed and humbled that people think that they are interesting topics, because we all have a different opinion. I always say to people, make your channel, get your channel up. You want it promoting, tell me, and I'll promote it on this channel, or I'll give you a shout out and different things. If you have a channel, link it in the chat. I know they don't like links, but you know what I mean. We're here to help each other, and just because we're sharing links does not mean I believe everything in. It's just we're helping each other. Tech Junkies music and Tech welcome. Any questions, please, people, get them in. I'll stay for a few more minutes. I know the numbers going down because people are getting bored. But like I said, this is an impromptu, and I just love saying thank you guys to you. Oh, Brian Evans is in the house. Belladonna said it's dangerous having a different opinion. People don't like you having a different opinion, and they really hate you having an open opinion. Belladonna, people that have seen it on this channel, I get attacked for having an open opinion and teaching. Listen, have an open opinion. Let's, and all that type of thing. People don't want it because people are making serious money and have egos, and they don't want you having a different opinion of them. Steve really wants me to promote his channel. You do now, mate. Apart from your pigs. A stoic nights and malted in the house. Thank you, Rob. And Rob's getting a thong line up soon. And, what a joking. Amanda Mendoza, you're confused, mom. It's thank you for your time. You know what I mean? I just use it. People always ask me what's the other reason. I like, because we're all, I'm going to say we're all mentally challenged, and we must be in a way, mustn't we? But you know what I mean? We're all being mental psyches being attacked. And we need to, we all struggle. We have our ups, we have our downs. And I just use my channel as well, making the content. I take myself away from this reality and concentrate on that. It helps me. Rudy and the dogs is in. I can see someone saying hello. Catherine O'Connell, think I have. Caplicious is back. Vertec. Tom Slater, think I have. But yeah, it's bloody hard work having a channel. You know what I mean? Paula, I want to say your second name, Paula, because I don't want to get it wrong. Is it Fedo or Fiedo or Fudo? But thanks for your support, and obviously Idiot Sandwich. Yeah, it is so hard. Sabine Vlamin, Morning Glory. And some Judgmentalist is in. Look, there's Nigel Betts. I'm just scrolling down now. Judgmentalist, there we go. Yeah, so questions, please put them in. But yeah, what we do as a community, we all watch a channel and some things will resonate with you. And then you take that away. And you know what I mean? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, about cutting the hair off. I did see someone talking about that the other day. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's how can I say it? Because some people take it really literally for granted. We should just, you can support other channels and have different opinions. I don't ask people to say, want me going round, and I wouldn't want people to support me and being dicks to other channels. You know what I mean? Please don't do that. I know you don't, but you know what I mean. I want people. We're a family. We have ups and downs. We'll get on and we'll argue. You know what I mean? We've all got egos. I'm just honest to say I have one, but try and keep it in check. That's what I plan on getting. Yeah, more and more books, and then recommend. But what happens is you spend more time arguing with trolls, and that's just one of the downfall. People have their agenda, but what you'll find now is when you do your videos, you learn to do it anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's not the sake of people will be people. Right, someone block that one. I tried to unblock it, but I think I might have been beaten to it. Yeah, I've been beaten to it. Thanks, guys, for the. But if these channels want to go and stay will be found in love. Miss Stormer has said Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? There we go. Miss Stormer said, "Is there a vid particularly that blew up and put?" I've had some views with a lot of views. I don't know if you would say they are good videos, because, like I said, they're all personal opinion. The first proper one I would say would be the Great Vowel Shift, or when I redid it, the Babel Effect, because that's talking about a period in time where all this history has been altered, timeline, calendar, language. I know it specifically aims to the English language and Latin, pardon me, but it all connected, and that was when I first really thought, well, them saying about Janos, because he's the reason they changed that all these vowels to L shift, and check that video. That was one of the first times people, I don't know, take notice, but people were swapping it around. That I knew of. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you get the odd mention, the tag your name, it will appear. Obviously, people could have been sharing it. I've had a few stuff shared on bigger channels and have had a lot of views. I mean, biggest video today is Tartary, the Remnants of Janos. That's 162k 5 months ago. Then it's a Giant Men of Renown. And I must admit, thank you to one of my friends mentioning about giants, because one of Janos's names is Gian, but you've only got to add a T for something that's past tense. Is giant. So it's all linked to Janus. I've had the Door, 92,000, the Babel Effect 31. So you can see how in this last, say, 8 months, a lot of the views have gone up. And again, it's only because of you guys. So please put questions in, and I'll stay for a few more minutes. I've enjoyed it. Sharing this channel, my public playlist, much love from Barcelona. I like Barcelona, Michael. I've been there a few times. The printing press was done in the Great Vowel Shift. But again, this is using his story. Anything can be any time. So we can't get to that point. And you guys will have been this many times. You'd have said something to someone and they'd have gone, well, you can't use that because that is his story. Like I had you today, I had a person who didn't want to acknowledge that the North Star has been in the Draco, the serpent, the dragon constellation, hence all these serpent worship. And it was because obviously I'm using bullshit science and all that. We can only use what we have, and it's information. Your information, my information, it's all from the same place. It's from a book, it's from the internet. Anything can be changed. Or her story, yeah. So I'm just looking for any questions. Some say about create Earth concept before you go offered to us by Goggle Vermast. And people will say in the chat, I've had people messaging me say they've used your research for those, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. We all get ideas. And, you know what I mean? Madam Medusa, I'm not on Telegram anymore. I was the hassle, and people were making sock accounts, you know what I mean? Just been trolling. It just got, I'm here to, I don't have that much free time, and I just love having a laugh. And it was getting like kids in the playground. So I just thought, you know what? No, I'm not, you know what I mean? I love a laugh and I am a kid at heart, but you know what I mean? I don't do drama. I try not to anyway. Are you doing a follow up to the last video? Do you mean the 11? I'm just going to leave it natural now. Steve, I've put the concept, the thought about it out. It makes a lot of sense to me because it ties in a lot of people's theories. So I'm just looking for anyone who's got any. Thanks, James. Have a good evening. I can't remember if you're in the UK or not. But yeah, like I said, please check out me old content for anyone who's pretty new. I have some stuff, I'm not saying it's right, but stuff that will make you think. Like the connection video, talk about the vocal cords and the sacral area, the sacred area. That one's a really, really good one in my opinion. You know what I mean? And the stuff on the doors, the doorway effect. Again, obviously, I wouldn't have got to that situation without researching Janos. But it's just intriguing. So I'm going to go in about 10 minutes, a few minutes. I just want to round up and say thanks to anyone. So if anyone's just joining me wondering what's going on, it was just a shift, a show to say thank you for anyone who supported me this year. I lost my channel last June. That was a Black Sheep researcher, and I came over, made up What the Flock TV, and from there, I've gone from strength to strength. I've met some brilliant people like Sam, Rob, Mr. Mence has been with me a while. So a lot of new people that have joined have been friends from other channels as well. I couldn't have done it without the support of anyone. We just, like I said, I love to pass it. You know what I mean? And if the format was better, we could literally talk to anything. And, hopefully we'll do more lives and get, people on and different things. This was just, like I said, impromptu. Rudy and the dogs, yeah, I knew. And the hippie shake. There's a lot of people. Belladonna, under 73. I'll say everyone's name and give them a shout before I go. I'm just looking for any questions. It's what I try and do with the video, and this is people just can't get their head around it. Think about it. When I do a video, I try and be objective. For instance, if I find X amount of information that says it's this, I will just say, guys, this. Think about it. If we make a video and we say, well, how long would it be, and how long would you talking? And they say it's such and such, but 100 people say it's not this, and then them 100 people, then you know what I mean. So you can actually go round, round and round. So sometimes people want me to this way, and it's just common sense saying certain things, and people get triggered. I just look at information. If 100 pieces of information say it's this, I'll write that down, but I will actually say to you, that's information that I found. Simon said, if I did a video a long time ago showing, I don't think anyone else talked about it, that the guidestones from above are the Wendy Horn ruin, both life and death. You know what I mean? I always think to make people shout out who, always assist me all the time, with information. Like I said, I always mention work from analog, great information keeper and passer on a R. You know what I mean? But, there's loads of people. I've done many videos lately with, and like I said, I don't mean it as an insult, I just forget my name. Do you know what I mean? That's what I just am. I'm just not one for remembering names. Ryder, that's it. Ray's from Giants. I've done a lot of videos with him lately. And I keep meaning to do other stuff. Someone said a good question. Let me find what that is. Good question, Vertec. Where is Vertec? Was something... is Janice frightened Paul? Like, guys, I will be totally honest, as I am with you. when I do a video on Janice, I have a lot of bad things happen to me in my personal life for the following week. I always have. And I'm still here, still doing it. Because I believe people should know what I find. You know what I mean? And yeah, really good guys, Ryder. So when I make content on that topic, showing things, I know I'm gonna have the shit each week on it. So that's why sometimes I don't do it sometimes on it, because there's only so much shit you can have in 1 week. But yeah. Leslie Ann's asked, do I use a special online too? No, I don't. I'm just like you guys. I'm no different. I'm not no clever. I'm no guru, nothing. I'm just like you guys who just love looking for information. So if I see a word, automatically what I do is I just look at a word and see if I break it in half, would it mean anything differently? You know what I mean? And that's it. I'm from the Northwest in the UK. So yeah, that's all I do. I just break it down and then I look into them words. What I do is I look at the word in itself. Is there a different etymology? And then break it in half and then sometimes break it in 3. And sometimes you find weird or things that do connect to that word within that. And that's what I do. Yeah, it's crazy. You know what I mean? I do seem to be, when I expose that, I do have a bad week of sorts. But I'll keep doing it because I'm like, I don't like trying to get people. Carla Webster, no, you're not allowed. Bye. I'm only joking. Yeah, so you know what I mean? Is that, or is it the fact that like I've said many times, I don't necessarily say Janus is evil, because we're all good and evil. I believe it's more the cabal don't want me releasing information or coming to certain connections, because everything's been listening to. And that's not being the paranoid person. It's just obvious, you know, anything electrical, you only have to say something and your phone will pick it up and give you advertisements. Everything is, you know what I mean? So, what it is, and you just have to laugh and joke about anything. Northwest is the best. Is that where you're from, Mercu? You know what I mean? So, that's all I say to you guys. You know, we're a part of the family on this channel. And people always want. Versec, I'm a red. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. You know what I mean? And I just won't be with. That's why I did this. Like I said, I hate doing lives. You can ask Steve. Steve say us. I told him today. I said I hate doing lives, but it's only where sometimes I can connect with you guys, unless I'm in a premiere. You know what I mean? Because it really takes up. Anyone of you know doing anything like this, it takes a lot out of you. And this is me not even preparing. You used to have to doing a lot. You know what I mean? Brighton down south. I've not been Brighton. I've got a few friends down there. If you ever pop down, I'll have to give you a shout out. Thank you, Jamie. I know. Are you a blue Vertec? then that is poor. But yeah, I don't mind. You have to have good banter. As long as you can have good banter, friendly and laughing. I'm open to laughing about absolutely anything. You know what I mean? So please get your quick questions in, and what I'll do now, like I said, if you want me to do more lives, just please comment in the video, comment section you want me to do lives, and I maybe can try 1 or 2 a month or something. Thank you. I've not done any physical meetups. I have met the odd person, but I do plan on doing some meetups. Yeah. It's funny because people I want to do something, but you know, as soon as you get like that side of and money gets involved, no, I just want to meet people. I always wanted to do a tour of the UK and then the rest of the world, and just meet anyone who wants to meet. I mean, people don't realize, like I said, I care, full time and I do this. And you can see my videos. They ain't short. I plan on doing some more short ones. Stuff Beagle. And it's just hard. And you know what I mean? You get an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hour video. It takes weeks. And anyone knows that when you're editing and you put stuff in, you know how hard it is. It's mind boggling. Yeah, that's in. Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about that. Monkeypox, ginos. Right, so I want to say goodbye. People, any get any quick questions in, and I'll do mention it. Mr. Mensa, Simon said, Andrea, Vividness, Brian Evans, Brian Adams. I got that on the brain. Then you'll have to sing now, Brian. Catherine O'Connell, Ginger Grin, Buffer B, Tom Slade, Sam Carno, Mish Gleason, Sissy May, Canadummy, Stuff Beagle, Capalicious 420, Rudy and the Dogs. Making me laugh. Steve Wheatley, unfortunately. Brother from another mother. Amanda Mendoza, Your Confused Mom, Squirrel Sniper, Mercu. Belladonna, I've said that, I think. If not, hello. Simon said, Carla Webster, Ippy Shake, 29 Vertex, CLC, Jamie Martin, Squirrel Sniper. Yeah, so like it's so hard. Like I said, if people want, I would do. Listen, I will be honest. Have a channel, get a channel, make content. But you know, you're gonna get the idiots. But also, if you without the idiots, you don't get the good people. I don't want to have met half the people virtually because you know what I mean. Rhonda H, Kungus Khan, obviously Buffer B. Yeah. It's funny though, isn't it? Because everyone does in the community, let's pick a pub and meet. I don't actually drink. I don't drink. I've not drunk in decades. But still, it wouldn't stop me from meeting you guys. Right, guys, I want to go. But I don't like going in the best in here. It's just like I'm just sitting here just reading the comments. You forget you're doing a live event. So I know we've not really touched on it, but you know, it's just nice to people don't see me enough, my face, and because when you watch a channel, you do you grow fond of that channel, the fond of the person, you want to know what them people like. So obviously people don't see me enough for me doing lives. I wonder, experimental, elemental, and don't see me enough. You know what I mean? So this is who I am. You see me in my thoughts, but it's not the same when you're not live. Yeah, Chungus can. You can drink. You can drink all for me, my friend. But like I said, if people want to drink, let them drink. You know what I mean? I'm not here to morning glory. I'm not here for, remember what it's saying. Life is hard enough as it is. I'm not. Don't use me as an excuse to do anything you want, but do what makes you smile. You know what I mean? And there's not enough happy people out there. I need to get more happy. I mean, I am happy, but you need to get more and more happy people out there. Right. So if there's no more questions, I want to go in a sec. And it's been a privilege and an honor again to do a live. And please, if you want me to do more lives, suggestions, just put them in the comments and I'll try and do my best. It is like thing, isn't it? Disturbing the peace. I just love, like I said, you don't miss it. And people are like tuning in at the end and why did you stare at the screen like that? But you know what I mean? You just getting to know more and more people, aren't you? And people need to know you. So I want to go, guys. It's everyone is ask questions. What I was thinking of, because obviously I don't know when I make videos, but if you ever want a birthday shout out, please just put in the comments, and I'll give you a shout out when I do a video. If not, it could be a belated one, because obviously I don't have a regular slot. But you know what I mean? I'm here to, put smiles on faces and just have an intriguing conversation. Doesn't bother me one bit giving people shout outs if it makes people smile and happy that, they're getting a mention, by all means. Right. Steve will say you're going having a cup of tea now. I mainly drink, to be honest, I am boring. I mainly drink just water and herbal tea. I love a good herbal tea. Sounding dead old, innit? But yeah, that's growing if people's wondering. And then I might plait it, or should I dye it? People think should you dye it a different colour, but who knows? So yeah, Megs. I don't know if he knows. I don't know if you're a member of his channel or a member, a subscriber, or whatever. I did reply. I gave him my email address. But like I said, YouTube don't like people congregating or meeting up or anything like that. But I have replied. So if you do watch the streams, I mean, I pop in when I can. But please say I've replied. Right. So I will say goodbye. As a right, I'm reading comments here, and it's like you people keep on, but yeah, brilliant people. You don't get enough chat. You know what I mean? I wish I could do more, and maybe in the future, who knows? I'll try and do more and more that I want to do. But know you're appreciated, guys. Know you're loved. Even Steve. And any help and support that you show the channel is so appreciated. It's life changing, even sharing stuff, because I just want to promote, and that's the main thing I want to do. I want to promote think for yourself, and there's no harm in thinking for yourself and being different. There isn't, you know what I mean? And big channels, and you can't look away from it. We do have an influence. There's you know what I mean? People out there do listen to these channels, and if they're saying a certain message that is getting absorbed, we should be promoting thinking differently, learning to understand each other more better, and understanding we all have a different perspective, and having a laugh. when in the community I've had a good laugh, you just can't laugh. We need to laugh. I take the pee out of myself and friends regular, and we just need to do that. Eat me. Listen, Steve. Listen. Steve wanted a shout out. So if anyone lives in Kentucky, please get into contact with Steve Wheatley. He'll be in the chat quite regular. He wants some loving. Right, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Don't let the bastards grind you down. And remember to smile and laugh. We need to smile and laugh more. even if it's Steve. He's a good lad. We've adopted him. He's a channel. He's been adopted by the channel. Oh, we've got someone in Florida. Pushkin Castle. I'll give a quick shout out. Emma Bridges again, thank you. Mercy Seat. Steve Wheatley, Jamie Martin, Mercu, Nicholas Sturgeon, Jungus Khan, Carla Webster, Ginger Green, Harmony Foster, Mish Gleason, Caplicious, Moonbur, Tom Slade, Vividness, Andrea 73, The Oceans, Deep Woo, Rudy and the Dogs, Vertec, Mercury, and anyone like says you want stuff, your channels. I know YouTube try and do it, but still persist. Use my comments. So nice. Take care, stay safe, have a laugh, and I'll see you soon. If you want me to do a live, please put it in the comments. I want more lives. And I'll see what I can do, guys. Take care. Much love. See you soon. Ta-ta.